All right, guys, welcome to the Raised by the Wolves podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Reese, and today we're going to be talking with Steve Billington, one of my partners here at eXp Realty. And on this podcast, we like to talk with some heavy hitters in the industry, get some advice and some tips to help new agents, both new and producing agents, some tips and strategies to upgrade their businesses. So, welcome, Steve. How's it going, man?
Good, doing well. Thank you for having me on. Definite pleasure to collab. Doing well.
Awesome. So Steve here is an icon agent and he has been in real estate for a while. How long have you been in the industry, man?
So 4 years.
4 years. Okay.
Yep.
So what's kind of your origin story of becoming an agent in the first place?
So funny enough, my wife was actually into real estate first, doing sales and stuff, and that's kind of how I got into it. Um, at the time, I was working as a bartender server in a restaurant, and that's essentially the natural progression, server, bartender, real estate agent. But I saw the success that she was having, and it kind of just made sense for me to get into it. So we kind of partnered up, and the brokerage we were with at the time, just got my feet wet with that. Learned a lot of good stuff. So that's basically it.
Yeah, okay. So were you like an owner of the bar or were you just kind of employee moving up?
just uh, just a 9 to 5 grunt. Yeah, just a employee working for a chain. But it's great, man. I mean, I certainly wouldn't trade it. Definitely working for yourself is the way to go.
Yeah, okay. So did you feel like there was something you needed in your life, being your own employee, is that what, or being your own boss, is that what you kind of longed for at that time? Or
Kind of, yeah. I had gotten to a point, with the serving bartending thing where I didn't necessarily want to take that next step to be like in management. Just wasn't my thing. But at the same time, like, I definitely felt I wanted more. So, the idea of entrepreneurship was something kind of like a shiny new object to me. So,
Mhm.
transitioning into that, I think it was really the right call at the right time kind of thing.
Awesome. So what were kind of the struggles going you went through as a new agent, like day one as an agent? Maybe there's some confusion going on, or what should I do? How do I get deals? What was happening at that time?
Well, the cool thing was, when I first came on, my wife and I were part of a team. So I didn't so much have to worry about where to find a deal, I guess, because at the end of the day, we were all kind of getting fed, which was cool. But yeah, definitely, not knowing what to say, not knowing what to do, where to go for answers, that sort of thing. Um, I mean, obviously we had the help of the team, but I mean, a lot of stuff you just got to kind of trial by fire and figure it out as you
Yep.
go. As that's really the best way to grow. So yeah, it was kind of rough in the beginning, but I'd like to think I've got a nice smoothed out process at this point.
Awesome. So what were kind of the big things that helped you get the ball rolling?
As far as like gaining momentum.
Yeah, getting momentum, starting to get more leads, leading to clients, kind of a thing like that.
So I'll tell you, my wife and I had bounced around to a couple different brokerages before finding EXP, and the cool thing with EXP and the Wolfpack is that it really took our business from the point of, okay, just going through the motions of getting this, that, or the other handed to us to really taking a step forward and really drawing business to myself. At the time, Mike had been doing some stuff that was kind of unheard of. Well, I say unheard of, but a lot of like video content, stuff like that, which I had never really been on camera before that,
Hmm.
so it was a huge step in a sense for me. But I mean, it really made a lot of sense as far as the content he was putting out, the stuff that the brokerage provided. So once once we kind of went full swing into that, I mean, it's been a game changer for our business.
Awesome. So when you were part of like a team, um, did it feel like it was hard to kind of leave that situation because they were providing a lot of leads or things like that?
It was definitely like a feeling of walking out onto a plank because yeah, you're kind of given everything in a sense, and going from that to, oh man, where am I going to find the next deal, and where do I go to for this or help from the broker kind of thing. But no, man, I mean it's one of those things. You have to take that step to reap the benefits. So a little scary, but definitely worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, awesome. So what's like your main focus when it comes to production? Do you do a lot of social media and YouTube, things like that? Or are you out there knocking the doors, pounding the pavement? What's your go-to?
Well, so definitely social media, that has been, the main game changer for the business. I try to keep up pretty regularly with, YouTube content, and then of course, uh cross posting across like Instagram, Facebook,
Hmm.
even TikTok. I've tried to get on. So that's definitely kind of the main driver, which has been incredible, because at the end of the day, especially with YouTube, there's just so many people out there that when you come from a place like I'm situated in right now, Ocala, Florida, which is just blown up over the last year and a half as far as expansion, new homes, new individuals coming to the area. Uh, it really couldn't have happened at a better time. So definitely that, like I said, is the meat and potatoes, and just with the market transition that's kind of happened over the last few months, I've had to kind of chalk it up to, yeah, getting back, making the prospecting calls, getting out door knocking, stuff like that. So that is going to come in supplement to the social media uh, posting and whatnot.
Okay. So when you first started, were you also doing social media, or was it mostly the old style prospecting?
Yeah, definitely old style prospecting, a lot of cold calling, some door knocking. Um, I didn't really have that big of a social media presence. But, as things kind of progressed at the time, 2018, 2019, like it just, it became more relevant in the industry. So, I'm kind of thankful I was a little bit ahead of the curve,
Hmm.
implementing it to the business.
Yeah. So you said you saw like a difference happen in your business when you started um, taking advantage of that training to build with social media. Was it kind of overnight, or was it something you had to be consistent with for a while to see those results of strengthening your business?
Yeah, it definitely does take some consistency. There wasn't any overnight success, which you know is kind of to be expected, I guess, to a degree. But just putting in the time, putting out the content, like it does come around. It does. It just takes a little bit of time, especially for people to find you. Get to know you, be comfortable with you, that sort of thing. But yeah.
Just kind of like building your brand and things like that,
Exactly. Yeah. Goes hand in hand.
for sure. So were you starting to put or implement social media before coming to the Wolfpack and EXP, or was that kind of the draw to come? Was the great training with getting started with that?
Yeah, it definitely opened the door further. I had been kind of, putting my feet in the water here and there a little bit with it, but nothing to the extent that we have now. So
Hmm.
yeah, again, definitely EXP opened that Pandora's box, and it's great, man. I mean, you have to have it in your toolkit this day and age.
For sure, I definitely agree. Yeah, I'm just getting started and getting my YouTube channel growing, and I don't know where I would start. And um, joining EXP, that wasn't even what I was really looking at to join the Wolfpack. The model isn't what I was really paying attention to. Just the Wolfpack training and mentorship with Mike and Connor alone. That's what I was looking for as a new agent. And then as soon as I saw all the benefits and the things that could increase people's business just with the model, I was like, yeah, this is a no brainer.
Yes,
Um, I
agreed.
even like didn't have to look too much at other brokerages, um, and that's what made me decide to come here for sure. The training is incredible, and I definitely couldn't get the ball rolling how it is without that.
It's tough, man. I mean, there's so much that you can involve yourself in. Excuse me, especially with being a new agent. Um, so at least kind of having a roadmap, which again, Mike and Connor have done amazing job of, not only having the training set aside, but yeah, the weekly calls, the availability for, tips or little things to tweak the business, this, that, or the other. So yeah, I mean, definitely kudos to them because uh you can spend a lot of time spinning your wheels as a new agent, which and that's why the adage goes, a lot of realtors in their first 2 to 3 years, like if they don't pick up that momentum, like they're usually out of the business. So
Yeah, for sure. So were you kind of looking at the model itself before looking to come over and trying to decide what your upline would want to look like, who you could get advice and mentorship from, or were you looking at specifically the wolf pack and that's what completely drew you in?
that I would say that's the draw. Definitely coming across Mike and just his way of content creating, marketing, that was the big draw. And kind of like you said, the perks of the model in EXP was just like an added bonus. But yeah, it was definitely him that caught our eye first and really kind of plowed the way for us to make the move over.
Yeah, awesome. So you're a brand new agent. You have to start over day one. Um, how would you go about it?
Well, I think that the best advice, or the best thing to do at that point is really just get your name out there. Like, really, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Letting people know that first and foremost, you are a real estate professional that can help them. Um, but second, too, like just being able to gain the trust, the familiarity, backed by having the knowledge of, I mean, the cool thing is that there's tips and tricks all over the internet. Like, if you can just kind of hone in, understand the process, and just translate it out to your audience. I mean, that's really going to help you. I think, in addition to other supplemental activities that you can do to try to gain business.
Yeah. And I think some of the biggest things I've heard are like the channel you create or the page you create, it's gonna the people that it attracts, it's gonna be high intent with what they're looking for. If you have a channel specifically based on your market and real estate, um, people are looking up things specifically to that, and so the ones that you get, they might not reach out to you right away, but they are thinking about that for the future, and it's very high intent. It's YouTube being the second biggest search engine, owned by the number one, Google, and then to also just add value like crazy. Um, that's that couldn't attract more people than anything, or that attracts more people than anything is just um, showing that you're not afraid to give people the knowledge that you already have, um, and that you're willing to work with them even more. How much has like giving value been a benefit for you?
I mean, that's the main driving force. I mean, at the end of the day, kind of like you said, a lot of people, they don't know things, so where do they go? They go to the internet, they go to YouTube to try to figure it out, understand it. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people can tell, like, if you're genuine and you really are just trying to help educate, like, people will pick up on that. And I mean, comments and interactions all the time from people that don't move forward, and either buy or sell with me. But it's just, they love the content, they love the information, and I think at the end of the day, as the content creator, like that's it's great. It's great to hear.
Yeah, for sure. Even if they just say, "Hey, I love your content," that feels so good, better
It does.
than a lot of things that are making your day. So it's just a big benefit to both you and your viewers as well.
For sure.
How important was culture to you coming to EXP, and how was it with your old brokerage versus with the wolf pack we have here?
Well, it so I gotta say, like, coming on to the Wolfpack and EXP, it definitely was my first introduction to remote interaction, stuff like that. I've always been used to in office, in person kind of thing, which is great. I mean, there's definitely a certain element to that holds its own value. But I think definitely the mindset and again, like you said, the culture of what has been created in the wolf pack, like it's very addicting. Like you're constantly being told to surround yourself with those that do better in an effort to make yourself succeed, and that's exactly what all these individuals in the wolf pack are all about. So it's amazing to see just the camaraderie, even though half of us don't even know each other, because the wolf pack has gotten so big, which is cool to see. Everybody's there for the same reason, the same purpose, and the same motivation. So it's great.
Yeah, yeah, I don't see any kind of value held back within it. There's that saying with crabs in a bucket. People, when one crab is close to getting out of it and escaping, the other ones will just pull them down because they don't want to see them succeed or whatever.
Yep.
And that's what I've heard about a lot of the current culture in my area and a lot of brokerages is, even though agents will be a part of the same one, they aren't going to share anything with each other, and there might be some backstabbing or bad things like that. Some brokerages will be better than others, of course,
Yeah.
but that's not what I got at all coming into the wolf pack. It's exactly like a family. Everyone's lifting each other up, and like even you asking you to collaborate on the channel, you were immediately willing to come and help when I'm sure you're a busy guy, and um, that's been every day I've seen just an amazing family culture, and I'd like to thank you for that as well. You've been awesome.
Well, it's definitely my pleasure, man. And thank you for reaching out. Yeah, it's like you said, one person trying to lift another, which is a rare thing to see this day and age with anything, not just real estate, but knowing how cutthroat the business can be. Yeah, it's refreshing to know that stuff like that is still out there, and people are operating to that degree.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for coming onto the podcast. Like I was saying before, if people want to reach out to you and partner with you and learn from you, where can they reach out to get in touch with you?
Probably Facebook or Instagram is the best. YouTube, I always monitor that between my wife and I. But heck, at the end of the day, an old call, text, or email will work as well. So I got my eyes pretty much everywhere, as you have to in this day and age.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll put that information in the description if anyone's interested. And
Cool.
we'll see everyone on the next podcast.
Yeah, yeah.